Hello everybody, I'm icupspeedruns and this is Banjo, Tooie, and 8%. Let's just jump right into it. Get out, we get red. I guess for marathon purposes, red is the easiest to deal with, because all he does is grow big and you can just attack him immediately. So red's the slowest, blue is in the middle, and green is the fastest, so I'm gonna hope for green potion next time we see him. It'll be towards the end of the run. Right there, I try to stand in a specific position to get pushed by Klungo during the cutscene to skip some movement. Should get a pretty decent push here. Yeah, not bad. It's about average. There are some pushes where you literally get pushed for the entire cutscene, and it saves like a second or two. It's really cool. So now we're in the overworld of this game, Isle of Hags. We're gonna go right over here to the Red Jinjo house. Do a specific jump, first try, nice. To get to the top of this house and get 20 notes right away. So in this game, if you're more familiar with the prequel of this game, Banjo-Kazooie, in this game, notes are handled a little bit differently. So in the levels, you'll see there are note nests instead of just regular notes sitting around. Note nests are worth 5. What I just got there is a treble clef, which is worth 20. So note collecting is a lot faster in this game. And there's our first Jiggy. We're getting 14 of the 90 Jiggies in this run. And we'll be getting 315 out of the 900 notes. So, skip quite a bit in the 80% run. Unfortunately, this run has a lot of cutscenes that we can't skip. This one isn't too long, but trust me, if you like cutscenes, you're gonna see a lot of them. Yeah, if you die in this game, you don't lose any of the notes like you did in the prequel, so that's also nice. And there also is no lives in this game, so you can die as many times as you want, which we actually utilize death warps a couple times in a run. So now we're going to Bottle's house. We're going to talk to his kid here to get the Amazo Gaze goggles, which will be useful to us later in the run. Hey. So this is Jiggy Wiggy. We're going to use them to unlock a few of the levels once we get Jiggies. We can actually go and unlock the first level now, but we're actually going to wait to do that until we have more Jiggies so we can unlock more than one level at once. Instead, we're just going to tag that warp silo, go over here, jump to the sledge. I almost split. Wow, literally ZFG. Get the plateau early without the grip grab move. Tag this warp silo. This trick is pretty precise. This may or may not work. There we go. So that's called GGM early because we enter GGM early. Ugh. So there's basically a gap between the gate and the wooden plank there. That's like, I don't know how many pixels wide, but basically if you inch forward and ground pound, you'll have enough speed to clip through, and you can enter this level without doing the puzzle. We'll actually end up having to do the puzzle later in the run, but it's faster to enter a level now and do everything in it now, because we can get a move that will save us a lot of time in the first level of the game. Damn simple. So we're gonna start off the level by grabbing the running shoes and doing this section. grabbing some notes along the way. 11's actually a really good time to get there. Get a couple fast jiggies here. I was actually supposed to take damage during the first Klungo fight, but I forgot to do that, so I'm gonna have a bit of a slower death warp here, but that's okay. It's only a couple seconds. Much to say here, just swim through the maze. Guess if you don't know the path, it can be kind of tricky, but the path is pretty easy to memorize, just left, straight, and left. And there's a death warp that we utilize to get to the entrance to the level. We're gonna grab this cool bow, and bring it right to Humbawamba, and a wigwam here. Transform into a detonator. As a detonator, we're gonna set up a very important glitch that will save approximately 2 hours in a run. We're also gonna grab a few notes and a jiggy. Warp to the entrance. It's a little bit quicker to get to the fuel depot from here. The strange thing about detonator is that it automatically bounces when you move, so it's actually quicker to just jump as the detonator. Because when his regular hop, there's like a slight delay in between the hops, but if you jump, there's no delay. Conveniently, there's also a few notes in the fuel depot, so I'm gonna go ahead and blow up these rocks to let the flying saucer through. This is normally a minigame in Witchy World, but we're not going to play that minigame, spoiler alert. It's a really slow jiggy. Instead, we're going to use them for something much cooler than an auto-scroller. So I took damage from that enemy outside to set up another death warp if we self-detonate ourselves, and right next to that TNT box, we take 3 damage, which automatically kills us. We're not gonna de-transform quite yet. We're gonna go over here to this waterfall. Nice, that's very quick. So, if you press A then B, jump and self-detonate while you're holding forward against that wall, you can levitate for some reason. Get that jiggy early. You're normally supposed to use Springy Steps shoes, which is a move from the 5th level in the game, Pterodactyl Land, but we're not even going to enter that level in this run. And that's also another quick jiggy. We're actually kind of tight on jiggies in this route because we only get jiggies in the first 2 levels, and we need 14 of them out of the 20 available in the first 2 levels, so you get quite a few jiggies in the first couple levels. I'm gonna go right over here and learn Build Drill, which is a very important move. It's gonna save us a lot of time in Mayhem Temple. It's basically an upgraded ground pound. You'll see it in a few seconds here. Go over here, grab some notes. Oops, I missed that note. The note route's actually very tight in this route. You can't miss a single note miss. Like, we have exactly enough notes in this route to learn Grenade Eggs. So there's Build Drill. Pretty neat move. Alright, going over here to Generator Cavern. Normally you're supposed to use fire eggs to light up these generators, to go around the entire room, but instead you can just jump up to this ladder and grab the Jiggy right away. Saves a lot of pain and slow movement. Now we're gonna go to Power Hut, which is right next door. You're normally supposed to split up the characters, which is a move in this game. You can split up Banjo and Kazooie. And you're supposed to take Banjo up to the second floor of the Power Hut to turn on the lights in this room. But if you turn the brightness up, you can actually go through this room just fine in the dark. So now we're leaving GGM with 6 Jiggies. Right next to the levels, fire eggs, which literally the only use for fire eggs is for this switch that's right next to us in the plateau. That's the only thing fire eggs are absolutely required for. They also help a lot for the final boss though, so I'm gonna be using them a lot there. But yeah, this is literally the only requirement for fire eggs for this switch right here. We also don't have egg aim, which is a move you learn in Mayhem Temple, so we have to like climb up that pile that's conveniently right there and shoot the egg from there. Grab these notes in the log, and we have exactly enough notes for grenade eggs, which is a very useful form of egg. I'll be using them quite a bit in the run actually. Now we're gonna warp back to Wood Hollow, and we're gonna do a puzzle. Not much to explain here. Just put the pieces in the puzzle to unlock the level.
Just to remind everyone, we are raising money for the Hackensack Meridian Health Center's COVID Response Fund. Any money you donate will go directly to them. We also have some incentives such as what is your favorite game franchise, or one of your favorite teams for Super Mario Maker 2 or for Super Mario 64. Please get those donations in. Even $1 helps. We really appreciate it.
A good time for this puzzle is a 93 or a 92, so let's see what time I'll get. This RNG isn't good. It's RNG where the pieces end up on the screen and which pieces get taken out. 91 is definitely acceptable though. Anything in the 90s is generally considered okay. 90 is kind of on the bad side, but 91 is average, maybe even a bit below average. Again, it's RNG, so it kind of sucks. Sometimes you can't even get a good puzzle with the RNG. This game has quite a bit of RNG actually, especially in longer categories like 100%. You can lose minutes to RNG. There is one big form of RNG coming up in Mayhem Temple that can lose us like 15 to 20 seconds if we get the worst RNG. But other than that, that's like the extent to the RNG. So. But in 100%, there's a big form of RNG 3.5 hours into the run, which can lose you a little over a minute if you get bad RNG, and it's basically a 50-50. So it kind of sucks, but what can you do? So now we're gonna enter Mayhem Temple, which is right here. So we're immediately gonna use Fail Drill, which we learned in GGM, to use right here. To get this boulder. Normally to unlock this boulder you're supposed to use the Golden Goliath. I have to focus here. There we go. Normally to get that boulder, to destroy that boulder, you're supposed to climb all the way to the top of the level and use Mumbo to summon a golden Goliath, which is like a huge statue to kick that boulder. But you can get it with Bill Drill very easily and skip all of that, which is the big time save that comes from GGM early in any percent. So right here, the white Jinjo is conveniently right here, and there's only one white Jinjo in the game. And whenever you complete a Jinjo family, you get a Jiggy. So the reason why I did not start from a fresh file, and the reason why the timer started at 3 seconds is because of Jinjo manipulation. Basically, before I started doing runs of this game, I started a new file on slot 2, and then copied up the file 1, and then just played it on slot 2 until I got to that Jinjo to see what color it was. For any percent, you want the white Jinjo there, and you also want the 2 orange Jinjos in Mayhem Temple, which I'll get after this. And that's 2 really quick Jiggies. In any percent, the route basically requires that you get those 2 Jinjo families. What did I press there? So with grenade eggs, we can damage ourselves in Death Warp really quickly, which is another good use for them. So we're gonna use this flight pad again. Beak bombs are the quickest form of movement in the game. Ooh, almost landed on that Jiggy. That would have been bad. And now we're gonna climb down the level. We're gonna do things a little backwards here. Because we're speedrunners, we don't do things a bit intentionally. For here, we're gonna learn egg aim. Which basically lets us aim eggs in first person. Gonna unlock that for later, which we're normally supposed to use the Golden Goliath for, but we can shoot it with a grenade egg and it's the same effect. There's Golden Goliath right there that we skip. And use the flight pad to beak bomb through the double clefts and get up here quickly. Get this Jiggy. Ooh, almost collected that exclamation point honeycomb. If you collect that honeycomb, it starts up like a mini game of sorts, where it rotates through your health bar, and when you press B, that's how much health you regain. It's really slow, so you don't want to pick that up because it like freezes you in place. This is a big RNG point I was talking about earlier. Yes, we got the best RNG. Okay. So it can be one of 3 possible codes there, combination of those 3 symbols. And I got it first try, so we're popping off right now. And now we reunited this couple. So happy. Like if you cry every time. It's another quick Jiggy. They only need 2 more Jiggies, and conveniently there's 2 Jiggies in this room right here. Prison compound. One of them is in here. There's a Jiggy on top of the tallest pillar in this room. Normally you're supposed to use Bill Drill to go down to the bottom level and hit the pillars from beneath to knock the Jiggy down, but instead we can just jump on top of the pillars. These are really precise jumps though, so I gotta focus here. Very, very nice. That's the one thing I was practicing before this run, because yesterday during practice I was failing that quite a bit. Those jumps are a lot more precise than I made it look. Really glad I got it really quick there. It's faster to jump and ground pound up to that ledge instead of backflip, but generally if I fail it once, I just do the backflip, take the L. And then we take these wading boots to go across the swamp. Get our final Jiggy of the run. And now we're done in this level. We got all the notes and don't need to collect any more Jiggies, so we're just gonna exit and do more puzzles. This is kind of a long stretch of not much going on, so if we have any more donations or announcements to say, then this will be a very good time to do so.
Sure. We don't have any new donations at the moment, but just as a reminder, we do have a bunch of donation incentives you can donate towards, as well as, of course, just the simple fact of supporting Hackensack Meridian Health's COVID response fund. So some of the donation incentives are you can put money towards choosing the Pokemon for Puzzle League. Currently Squirtle is winning. You can vote for your favorite Super Mario Maker 2 team. Currently Grand Pooh Bear and the Beast 721 are winning. Vote for your favorite Super Mario 64 team. Currently Simp Jones, Simply and Miss Jones are winning. With a close second of the Babes, Cheese and Ludwig. And then, what is the best game franchise? Currently, Zelda is winning by a significant margin, with Mario, Pokemon, and Sonic following behind. So you can put your money towards those incentives, those polls, as well as all of that money going straight to Hackensack University Medical Center Foundation. Please, even $1 helps. We'd really appreciate it.
Unfortunately, since even though we've already been to GGM, we have to unlock it because no matter what, we have to do the puzzles chronologically. And GGM is the second puzzle, so we have to waste our time opening a level we've already been to. '86 is actually a very good Witch World puzzle. I got an 87 on the GGM puzzle, which is below average. A really good time for GGM is a 90, but 89 and 88 are generally considered good. 86 is very good for Witch World. I think the best Witch World puzzle ever is an 88, so an 86 is really good. Here's the final puzzle to run, 14 Jiggies to do this puzzle. Oops. Sometimes the pieces look really similar, so it's hard to tell where they actually go. There. Should have been an 80, but I got a 79. A good JRL puzzle would be 82 or 83. That's okay though. Overall, pretty good puzzles in this run. Can't complain too much. This category's gotten so optimized where even if you lose 5 seconds to a puzzle, you might want to consider resetting if you're at the high level. So right there, we reset 2.5 seconds after the screen fades. I did 3 seconds there just to be extra safe. And the game auto saves us opening the level, so we don't have to watch the rest of the cutscene. It's faster to just reset. So now we're gonna go to Witchy World. We're not gonna spend much time at all in Witchy World. All we're gonna do is collect notes, learn a move, and set up a very important glitch. Can still lose quite a bit of time though, just because Witchy World's really laggy. So if your lag reduction's bad, you can lose upwards of a few seconds just to lag. This game is very laggy in some areas. So a big part of speedrunning this game, especially if you go into the later levels, is lag reduction. Much like SM64, where players like move the camera just to avoid lag. I feel like that's the case for most N64 games though. Luckily, the Witch World has quite a few notes that are right out in the open that are really quick to grab. I'm gonna do a quarter of the way around the level and stop to learn this move, Split Up, which we're gonna use a grand total of 1 time. Ooh, this is the laggiest bonk in the game. So, Jamjars has a 10% chance of bonking his head on every silo in the game, so if you get that 10% chance, it loses 5 seconds, but that particular silo is so laggy, you lose 7 seconds. So, got a bit unlucky there, but that's okay. I'm gonna head over to Space Zone, collect these notes. We're gonna use these amazing gaze goggles that we got from Bottle's kid earlier. We can barely reach that switch with a grenade egg using the goggles. Then we're gonna reset the console right as we see the saucer, which has a very important effect, which I'll get into later. I know I keep alluding to like this really important glitch, but this glitch is the reason why this run is 45 minutes instead of 2 hours 45 minutes. So now we're gonna go to Plateau and go to JRL, which is the last level that we unlocked. And this is the last level we're gonna enter in the run. Of course, grab some notes along the way. So we're split up. In case you didn't know already, you can split up the characters. It's actually really cool to play as a character solo. Especially Kazooie, because she runs really fast. Unfortunately, this is the only time in the run where we split up. It doesn't last that long. In the longer categories, like 100% and 80% no DCW, you spend actually quite a bit of time as the solo characters. So we keep the camera towards the wall here to reduce as much lag as possible. This is a very laggy area. So this sign is notorious because when the first time you step in front of a signpost, Jamjars throws up a text box that explains you how to read signposts. So that sign right out of the side of JRL is called meme sign because a lot of runners accidentally walk in front of it and activate the text, wasting a second. It's actually really hard to avoid coming out of level, so hopefully I'll be able to avoid it. So JRL, we're gonna grab a few quick notes right there, and then we're gonna do the swim. We're gonna swim all the way down to basically the bottom of the level. And we barely have enough air to make it to Town Torpedo, which is in a temple in Atlantis down here. Like, we're even gonna like take damage on our way up to Town Torpedo. That's how tight it is. But this is quicker than learning fast moving. Fast swimming, I mean. Have to be careful maneuvering around this octopus. Good, didn't get hit. If you get hit there, it's not that big of a deal. You can tag the Atlantis warp pad, so that when you drown, at least you can warp back down here, but I should be able to make it. Grab this note. We'll grab one of these notes. We don't have time to grab the other one. We only need this one anyway. We have to hold R here to make those tight turns. If you hold R while you're swimming, you can turn sharper. Okay, we're good. Sometimes those eels can be really annoying, and if one of the eels hurts you, you're basically dead. And you made it all that way, and you have to do is swim again. It really sucks. So here's Talon Torpedo. You guessed it, we're only going to use it once in a run. Any percent has a lot of moves, unfortunately, where you only use them once, but it's required to get, because you can't skip them. And that's all we need to do in JRL, so we're just going to get out of here. Oh, I skipped the sign, let's go. Popping off. That sign actually has a huge hitbox for your text, so it's important that we skip it. It's hard to skip. Gotta go back to Pine Grove, get these notes, and then use Talon Torpedo to break this rock, which is the only thing we used it for. So as you can see, we only have one red feather left. We're not going to use red feathers again in this run, so we're really tight on red feathers as well in this run. If you're a newer player though, there's a bunch of feather nests and cliff top on your way to JRL that you can just quickly grab. That's slow though, so we don't do that. So we got red the first Klungo, so we'll either get blue or green. Let's hope for green. Let's see the green. Ah, we got blue. The two slowest potions, man. Of course. I guess that's the price I have to pay for getting good Dilberto luck in Prison Compound. So, blue potion Klungo just clones himself. But it takes a while for his clones to spawn. Not as long as it takes for him to grow big though. In green, he just turns invisible, so all he has to do is turn invisible. It's actually pretty quick. Gotta be careful with that egg shot there, because the way the clone's movement is actually RNG. So if you're not careful, you can shoot a clone and then it resets the phase, and Klungo throws his potions again and wastes a bunch of time. Luckily that didn't happen there. So here's Wasteland, and all we're gonna do here is grab these notes. We have exactly 315. We're done with notes in the run. We're gonna learn Clockwork Kazooie eggs. So the entire run up to this point is basically just to get Clockwork Kazooie eggs, because they're required for the final boss. Like, the entire reason we went to JRL in the first place was to destroy that rocks, just so we could get here. So it's really unfortunate we have to go really far out of our way to collect all these notes just to get Clockwork eggs, but there's no way around it. So this might look strange, but I'm actually going to go into the replay menu and watch the cutscene for Hag 1, which is the final boss. Alright, so I guess I can use this cutscene to explain the big glitch. So, in 2014, the Chronic Keys, which is a glitch hunter for both of the Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie games, found a very, very big glitch in this game. So, might have seen earlier that I reset during the saucer cutscene going into the Witchy World. That cutscene has very special properties where, in memory, the game looks at where Banjo was in the last cutscene he was in. So now we're watching the Hag 1 cutscene. Banjo's obviously in Hag 1, in the Hag 1 fight, which is the final boss of the game. So when we go back to the fuel depot and reactivate that cutscene, we're just gonna be taken straight to the final boss of the game. And it's the actual final boss. Like, if we go back there in the file, the final boss will be defeated. So this is any percent. Basically just get enough notes and enough jiggies to go into JRL, get Talent Torpedo, go into Wasteland, get Clockworks, then just run warp to the final boss. Kinda like OT. OT before SRM. So unfortunately this cutscene's really long, but it saves a lot of time. Obviously. There's a category called any percent no DCW, which actually collects 70 jiggies and does all the puzzles to unlock Cauldron Keep and get to the final boss. Then basically the intended way. And the world record for that is 2 hours 42 minutes. And the world record for any percent is 42 minutes, so yeah, saves quite a bit of time. So now, since we've watched that cutscene's in memory now, we're gonna go back to GGM. Luckily GGM's open, so we don't have to do GGM early again. Grab the running shoes and go right to Fuel Depot. Then we're gonna fight the final boss, and that's the end of the run. We have another cutscene here, so if we have any donations or anything, you can go ahead.
Sure. Let's go ahead and have a shout out for Hackensack Meridian Health Center. All of the funds raised today and donated go directly to them and their COVID response fund, helping to save lives. They're specifically helping for patient care, the needs of their team members, and support for research for COVID-19 treatments. So please donate, even $1 helps. And of course you can put that money towards our donation incentives, polls for choosing a Pokemon for puzzle breed, voting for your favorite SMN2 team, voting for your favorite SM64 team, or choosing the best game franchise.
So yeah, it's cool and everything, we're at the final boss, but the thing about DCW is that you can only do it once per file. So if I die to this final boss, that's just run over. Luckily, Grunty drops a lot of health during this fight, so I shouldn't die. Just cross my fingers. I have a lot of practice in this fight, so should be fine. Should be. So the first couple phases here, not much going on. She's just trying to hit us with her lasers, but they're really easy to dodge, as you can see. They do have kind of big hitboxes though, so you need to jump earlier than you probably think you should. So she's asking us quiz questions here in the normal game. Like, you fight her right after you go to her quiz show. So she's just asking questions, and if you get the answer correctly, if you answer it correctly, then she'll attack slower. But it's faster to just mash B and not answer the question at all. The attacks still aren't even that fast. For this next phase, she's going to throw the mortar cannons at us, but if we jump on top of the drill and then look up, it reduces a ton of lag, and she never hits us. So it's easier and faster. Sometimes when you're really close to the drill like that, it can be hard to hit her. This next phase, she's gonna open up another mortar cannon. It's literally the same thing. There's another strat that's technically faster where you throw a shoot a fire egg at her, immediately switch to grenade eggs, and then normally in first-person mode when you shoot grenade eggs, because it really has a little bit of a delay, but if you throw a fire egg right before, you can literally just rapid fire spam grenade eggs. Grenade eggs do 3 damage to her, compared to the fire eggs 2 damage. I'll be honest though, I never learned that strat, so I just do fire eggs. It's not that much slower, it's like maybe 5 seconds throughout the whole fight. Which I mean, if I really wanted to grind this category out for world record, I probably should do that, but this isn't really my main category. So, I just do fire eggs, it's a lot easier. Not the flex or anything, but with the fire egg strat, I get the same time that other people get with the grenade egg strat. Subtle flex right there. So here's Clockwork Zooyets. We have to get them to go inside the drill here and destroy the batteries. This is absolutely required. We cannot beat the fight without doing this. Luckily, while we're sitting here waiting for her to finish her attack, we can fill up on eggs. In any percent, you're not really low on eggs, but categories like 100%, which is my main category, you're really low on eggs here, and you actually use this fight to fill up on eggs. Which is faster than going back to Banjo's silo, where he refills your eggs there. Fun fact, during these phases, you actually don't have to hit her at all. You can just wait for her to finish her attacks, and you can destroy the battery, and it automatically deals damage to her once you blow up the battery. It's faster to take her health down now, because she attacks you for quite a while. Alright, now the drill is deactivated. This is very, very laggy. It's usually not this laggy. So now that the drill is destroyed, we can basically rapid fire shoot her until the fight's over. Time ends on the final hit, which will be pretty soon. There goes my PB. My PB is 43:36. Honestly, this is really good for a marathon run. It's gonna be a low 44. Switch to blue eggs here because you can rapid fire blue eggs, even though they only do 1 damage each. It's still fast because you can rapid fire. So now she's gonna release the toxic gas, cyanide and mustard gas flavor, to be exact. This is supposed to be a scary section where you're on limited time because of your air meter, but we're speedrunners. Time. So, time. It's not slipping. That was a 44:19 though. What? My split isn't working. Yeah, I don't know. Oh well, that's the end though. It was a 44:19, I saw it. GG's. This is a really good run. 44:19 is really good for a marathon. Less than a minute off my PB.
Nice. Do you have any shoutouts you want to do?
I guess just shoutouts to the Banjo Speedrun community. You can join our Discord. Just go to any of the Banjo games and there should be a link to the Discord right there. There's a lot of resources if you want to get speedrunning any of the Banjo games. And I personally recommend Tooie, but it's all ultimately your choice what you run. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much for that run. That was really fun to watch. As a reminder for everyone, All donations go to Hackensack Meridian Health Center, their COVID response fund, to help patient care, funding the team members, and supporting research for COVID-19 treatments. Any amount helps. We're also reading off donation comments, so if you want to say something to one of our runners or anything, that's a really great way to do it. We also have a couple of donation incentives. If you donate, you can put the money towards something such as choosing your favorite game franchise. So please go ahead and donate, and then we're going to have a bit of a break here before our next game. So stretch, go to the bathroom, maybe get a drink, stay hydrated, and we'll see you soon.